YouTube, this is Bayu here. I just came from my dollar store and I bought this for 69 cents. It's like a little cup and you can bake something, you can bake a cornmeal or whatever now that the wheat is getting to be extremely expensive. Even the corn, the prices are going off the roof because of this military conflict. And this is basically what I want to talk a little bit, especially to my young subscribers. Finally, I'm getting close to 1,000, and quite a few females too. So, for those who don't know me, I spent 13 years in the Army. Sometimes I say I wasted 13 years in the U.S. Army. My job was a section chief, artilleryman, 155mm self-propelled howitzer, the M109 Alpha 3, and I went all the way up right before I came back for the Korea. Some people call it Kim Chilam. I was supposed to go to the academy and teach. And somehow the line unit, meaning in order to do the unit, they needed a section chief, and they took my DA assignment, Department of the Army assignment, and put me back at the line again, meaning a battery line. So I got upset and I decided to quit, or to terminate my time, PCS basically, ETS. So I was lucky, somebody in Dallas ISG hired me, Richard, we are here right at disease, and did my time with the district and I retired. So now I'm retired. So I do have a little bit of overseas time. I spent 3 years in Germany over the Fulda Gap. We were supposed to be where the Russians will do the split that they had done many times in Kazakhstan and now in Ukraine. So, and 13 months in Korea by the DMC, Camp Casey, which is the closest U.S. Army post next to North Korea. Next to, not in North Korea. There is nothing in front of us, army-wise. The Marines are on the other side, on the other coast. So you could say that I know a little bit. When I was stationed in Korea, they sent me to be the liaison officer between the Army, the Army Brigade, the Combat Brigade, and the Korean, the ROC Army, ROC, Republic of Korea Army. So I was assigned to S2, G2, which is Division Artillery, Division Information, Division Intelligence, basically. D2, you got D3, which is supplies. So I learned a little bit about strategy, and I learned a little bit about supply, which is extremely important. And I listened to some of my friends, much older than me, civilians, and never been in the Army, probably never been Boy Scouts. And one of the stupid things that I heard was when that BMP stopped in the middle of the road, and here comes a civilian car, the opposite side. I said, hey, what happened? What's wrong? I think it was day 2. I think it was day 2 of the military operation. And the guy said, frankly, we're running out of fuel. Well, this civilian was laughing and said, oh, the stupid Russian army ran out of fuel. So I had to educate him. The stupid was it. In any conflict, you don't go busting like a maniac, because you get blown up. So what happened is a small tactical unit do a recon. You ever heard about recon? Which is intelligence issue. And this was the advanced party unit, one BMP, and the T-72 that was about 50 meters behind it. See, civilians are very narrow-minded and don't see the whole picture. Even if you are corporal, like we have a few in YouTube, a box sergeant or if you are a staff sergeant or platoon sergeant, you understand the whole picture. You don't go blindly like a racehorse. So I had to teach the job of this man was to be on the radio and go 100, 150, 200 kilometers straight ahead and gather information, and also, honestly, draw fire. So those are the people that usually get killed because their job is not to engage the enemy. The job is to give information to the rear. Okay, that's what we call it, or used to call it, in the old Wild West. What the Indians used to do? U.S. Army hired Indians to be what? Scouts. That's right, scouts. If you did not know, or if you did not seen any Western movie, the U.S. Army always hired Indian scouts. Yeah, they were the best scouts in the world. The Army, the Anglos and the Irish and everybody else that was in the cavalry back then, they were stupid. They couldn't even read the ground. That was not the field. So scouts were hired, good pay, and they're always given the rank, back sergeant. All of the Indians were back sergeant. So the troops would not mess with them. Because, you got low IQ people in the service. I hate to say that, but even in the U.S., I think I told you that I also put 3 years as a recruiter, not voluntarily. Like, hey, you, Raster. So, and lately I've been watching quite a few major generals and lieutenant generals from the retired from the Indian Army. And there is a concept that I want you to keep in mind. When you watch U.S. TV, what I call U.S. prostitutes, they are civilians. They don't know better. I was talking with my producer today. You remember in the Old Testament, when the Israelites surrounded the city of Jericho for how many days was that? 5 days? No, 6 days. And the 7th day, they were supposed to go and do 3 and then blow the horn and the walls of Jericho fall down. You know what that's called in military terminology? It's called siege. The Romans loved to do that. The Greek guy that cleaned Europe and conquered everybody else at an early age, that's what he used to do. He sit in the back of the city, cut communication, cut supply, cut the water, siege the city, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, and finally, you take over the city without having your soldiers killed. So I want you to see that even in the Bible, 3,000, 2,500 years ago, siege was the way to conquer a city. So all these civilians, and I'm sorry if you're a female watching this video, this is bothering me with females. Oh, they're not moving, they're stuck. Yeah, they're not going to move, and they're not stuck. That's called a siege. And I want my producer, we're going to stop real quick, and I'm going to show you a map that was released by military intelligence, by the MOD, Ministry of Defense of the Russian forces, and clear everybody else and their mother and the sister, so the people, the Russians could see what's going on, because they're getting fake information from the West. And the military says, no, I'm going to show you a map of what we have now. So, okay. This was released, I think 2 or 3 days ago, and if you look over here, it's a Russian word. It tells you a day 4. Everybody else, including the U.S. Army, write this way: the date 4. And for those people that get confused, that's what the 4 is in red, and bigger than the 3, which is the months, and then 22. Okay, a lot of people outside the U.S., that's the way you write the date. Like that. So this is Ukraine. And for all those who are talking trash and they have not been in basic training, they don't even know which end of the rifle to use. It annoys me, as a section chief, annoys me when I hear this ignorant, uneducated, no-brain people, civilians talking. You see, this is Kiev. In Kiev, you see K-I, this is the I in Russian, Kiev, Kiev. That's how you write it. You can see right here the little Russian flag. All this red is the Russian army. all of the. Now, this right here is right next to the sea, the Black Sea, and this is the Sea of Azov. So this is what I knew the Russian army was going to do. A Russian army in Russia is going to take the sea area away from Ukraine. I can bet my family jewels that they will not give this back to Ukraine. Period. Why? This right here is a Donbass area. If you pay close attention, that's the D in Russian. That's an N, Donetsk. And this is LU, Luhansk. These two are the two states there. The Duma, which is a Russian Congress, the Duma, don't call it Congress, it's Duma, recognize old Soviet republics. Old Soviet republics, independent. That's very interesting to see it and repeat from the Duma perspective. Old Soviet republics. Now, right here, this is what? The peninsula of what? Crimea. This is part of Russia. So now all of these two and these will be now part of the, they will recognize it as an old Soviet republic away from Ukraine. Now, Odessa. O-D, well, D, this is a D, like I told you over here, the D, you see? Donetsk, D. O-D-S-S is S-A. The CCA is SSA, okay? I know a little bit of Russian grammar, but I don't speak it too much. I can hear the words, so I understand. And this is the city that they've been fighting for the longest. Mariupo. Okay? And this is the other city that they're fighting a lot. Okay? Now, do you see this gray and red line? This is what the conflict is going on right now. Okay? And this is the famous word that the Russians use, cuadrón. La olla in Spanish. The pot would be the English translation. But the military term is called cuadrón. Everything in here and everything over here around Mariupo, those are the neo-Nazis battalion. It's not the regular Ukrainian army. It's not the National Guard Ukraine. It is a volunteers neo-Nazi group. So all the forces right here, they're going to get waxed. There is no if and but around. They're all going to disappear. Now, lately, some of the Europeans and the Hindus and TV are mentioning that the Russian bombed a hospital. First of all, it was not a regular hospital. It was a maternity clinic. And these idiots right here, neo-Nazis, destroy that clinic and make them a headquarters for their commanders, the people. What is it on a clinic? What do they have in a clinic? A lot of rooms. And where do you put the soldiers? Up in the woods, or you put it in the clinic? In a nice room, 2 beds or 1 bed or 4 beds, whatever the case is. They already have the beds in there. Remember, it's a pregnancy clinic. A lot of wards, a lot of bed. And thanks to this RT reporter, this is why, pay close attention here. This is why you don't want to disregard RT reporters, because RT reporters' main job is to destroy all the lies. I said again, destroy all the lies that the West and the US press is telling everybody. So that maternity clinic is not a hospital. Was taken over by these idiots right here, this psychopath. Okay, Mariupo right there, because that was the headquarters. And the reporter went into the hospital in second floor, I think it was. He sees a little fingerprint mark with red stink, and he keeps looking for, deaths and mango bodies, and it was a big missile, by the way, cruise missile. So he goes to the room, and as soon as he opens the room, he sees a 5-gallon bucket of red paint. It was a stage, guys. Remember, when you are at war, there's more than one hot war. You got the regular killing war, bullet shooting. You got the economic war. You got the finance war. And you have the news. Try to earn the people's mind in favor of Ukraine. I have right here this general that I want you to see. This is a lieutenant general, Indian Army. And if you understand what it says on the bottom, can you see on the bottom, producer? Putin launched the reconnaissance in force troop to check out Ukrainian military strength. Like I said before with this guy that ran out of fuel, you don't send all your forces and the artillery heavy pieces in the first 3 days because you don't know what's going on. The Russians learned the lesson in World War II. The artillery that's what is called the king of the battle. It's your baby. It's your beautiful teenager girl. You protect it and you use it because the artillery will destroy the enemy when they are called upon to do that. But a lieutenant general from the Indian Army is telling you, recognize, go out there and move out and draw some fire. What is the enemy? You send the infantry, the BMDs and the BRDMs, or all those vehicles with wheels, or the small track, the more like that, which is effectively better than the piece of shit that we have over here. Oh, oops, I'm not supposed to use, but we're at the POS called the Bradley, which is so heavy, it sank, and it doesn't move fast enough. And you see the Russian BMP go, yoo, flying in the open field. And also to check Ukrainian military strength. So go back to the picture that I show you. Look, do you understand what the Russians has done? This is Kiev. Sooner or later, in a couple more days, this is going to be all red. And the city's in the middle, surrounded. But this right here, Mariupo, is a pain on the neck right now. I have to give it to you because these 2 battalions or 1 battalion are holding back, not letting anybody go away, civilian kind, because if they know there's no civilian left in Mariupo, the Russian forces will come in and the militia from those 2 states, Donetsk and Luhansk, and they will watch them. No if and but, no UN, no Red Cross, no God will have mercy on them. They will go away 6 feet under, period. Because what they have done since 2014, they have killed 14,000 Russians. This is what the Western press doesn't tell you. This is what President Putin sent to take over this right here. 14,000 deaths in this area. Guys, all of these are Russians. Russian speakers, Russian people, Russian radio, Russian TV, Russian businesses. It's Russia, everything. Odessa, they don't even have to get in a fight because the government in Odessa, city government, is already pro-Russian. And they are fighting the radicals that are in this area right here, the Azov battalion, the neo-Nazis. Okay? Right here is Moldova, very small country. It's about between 80 and $120 million short to Mother Russia, what I call it, because they have not paid for the gas, so they're not getting any gas. Right here you got Romania. This is the R in Russia. Romania. So this is short and sweet. If you want to learn real strategy, real tactics, remember this map. You're going to siege the city. You are not going to take over the city until it's ready to fall, okay? You don't want to kill your soldiers. Unlike Zelensky, the idiot that issued 15,000 Kalashnikovs to everybody, that even people, they were allowing people in jail to release as long as they sign the paper and pick up a AK to protect the city. That's criminal, guys. You don't get criminals issue weapons because they're going to steal. They're criminals. That's what they do. That's what they always done, and that's what they will do. they're not going to sacrifice the Russian soldier to take the city right now. As I show you right here, they are going to surround the city like Mariupo, and a little bit at a time, they're going to start picking at the missiles and missiles and missiles and missiles. Allow ceasefire so the people, civilians, will leave in the corridors. Remember, the Russians are doing that almost every other day, corridors, because they don't want to kill their own people. These right here are Russian, guys. These, even though they might have born in Ukraine, they are Russian by history, by Katarina la Grande, Catherine the Great. You read your history. This is why I tell you all the time, the history that they teach in the West is bullshit. They're lies. You have to go for real history so you understand this problem. And these Ukrainians are, in a sense, part of the old Soviet Republic. They're brothers and sisters. They're brothers and cousins. First blood cousin. Even the language is not that much different. A little bit, but almost the same. And this is funny because Romania on the other side right here. Where is Romania? Right here. Bucharest. No, that's well, I think Romania is somewhere over here. First, at the beginning, the State Department, the U.S. State Department was trying to push Romania to surrender their MiG-29s to the Ukrainian Air Force so they can fight, because the Russians had decimated their airplanes. There's like 140 some destroyed, and some of them has gone already to this is Bulgaria. And the funny part is in Bulgaria, you can land, you can come over here, you can run away, but once you put the airplane down, it's not flying anymore. They're not going to steal the airplanes, but they're not going to go back to war. That's exactly what Brazil did to the British Air Force in the Malvinas War, back in the 82, in the early 80s. Same thing. You do all the weapons, you do all the fuel, and you're not leaving because you're going to fight, and I don't want to be part of it. These guys don't want to be part of it. The stupid Polish people are pushing and pushing and pushing to the point that they say, well, we're going to drop the airplanes in the Rhine-Main German Air Force base, and then you take it from there, because they're chicken shit, and they know that if they send those airplanes right here, I don't know where they're going to land to begin with, Russia's going to deal with it. And they know that. That's what they're not going to do, direct delivery. They're not going to do direct delivery because they're going to pay for it. And whoever runs over here, run away with a helicopters or airplane to Bulgaria, they're not flying back. That's it. That's the end of it. So this war is going to be a little bit longer because they're trying to minimize death. Okay? This is not I want to take the city and kill everybody. No, that's the stupid U.S. press, the stupid Europeans that want you to believe. Because that's not the purpose. Remember, this is not an all-out war. This is a military action. And Putin already set the standard. What is it that they want? No more Ukrainian army. And Ukraine after that's going to be neutral. And keeps this area right here. Goodbye. This is going to be Russia or pro-Russia or Donetsk or something else. Ukraine is not going to have access to the sea. Period. Because... you know, down here south, you know what that is, right? Down south here, you got the Strait of Dardanelles between Greece and Turkey. And right above that is the famous Strait of another problem. So there are two straits that are controlled by the Turkish. And Turkish is NATO. And they already said you're not going to have warships coming over here because that's war. So in war situation, Turkey has a right to control those two. Bosphorus is straight. Bosphorus is north, and Dardanelles is down here between Greece and Turkey. They control it. They basically, Turkey has on both sides. Turkey has territory on both sides of the strait, so it's Turkey. But actually, the U.S. was not involved in this agreement that they signed right before the World War I. Actually, it was before World War I. So that's the rules, and the U.S. is not going to impose any will, and the UN is not going to impose any will because it's a deal. Any agreement signed before the United Nations was convened, formed, and started, they cannot overrule any prior agreement and agreement or what do you call it? deals like that. So Turkey will be in charge of those two straits, and no military ship will come over here to this area. All of this right here, all these oceans. Not even the U.S. Okay, guys, short and sweet. Pay attention to who you listen to, because the news is biased as hell. Biased as hell, and they put you in a place that you believe this. And let me tell you, from the military perspective, not pro Russia, not pro nothing. When it comes to toys, okay, to military toys, military weapons, we the U.S. is in deep shit. We don't have a good missile for air defense. We don't. They tell you we do, but we don't. We don't have a good cruise missile like 6 or 7 kinds that the Russians have. Kaliv is amazing. They tried the new one I call it made out of plastic. It's not plastic. It's the material that making the MC-20 airplane. The compound material, which it's not even fiberglass. It's a new material. So it is undetectable. You cannot read it on the radars cannot see it. Plus they have the fast one with the nuclear reactor engine. So they have humongous amount of toys. They have spent, China spent the last 20 years making money. Russia spent the last 20 years making military toys. So I want you to understand that. Unless you are one of those idiots that get an M16 and want to charge a T-72 or Armata, the new tank, go right ahead. I won't. I will not even support you, because you can't. You can't fight wars like that. And this is what happens when you do. Okay, guys, I'm sorry to bring you military bad news. These people, these generals are usually with the Republic Indian TV. Go to Republic TV from India and you find all these big wheels, and they will explain to you the strategy. Is Russia losing Ukraine? Indian Army general respond, no, it's not. But that will make you believe. See right here is another video from the Republic World. That's the name of the TV. If you can, listen to these guys right here. Listen to the military reports. Don't listen to stupid people that spinhead doctor. Listen to the generals. Okay, Russian generals. They sometimes have it in English, so you translate. Click the automatic translation. And don't believe all the stuff that they tell you all the time. You always test and question. She was supposed to go and talk to Putin, but she turned the idea down because she knew that no way in hell that he was going to stop anything. He stopped when this is controlled 100%. Period. Okay, guys. If you want to ask me a question down in the comment, behave. No profanity. I'm not pro anything, but I'm not going to lie to you. That's not my purpose. You can see it on my videos. If you want to do it on email or on the other side, also, I have no problem answer your those private questions if you want everybody to know. Okay, behave. Talk to you later. And this is another thing that I just bought from the what's the kind of stories are the thrift store. My producer. Okay, guys. See you later. Bye.